up on today's show. Whip out your handcuffs. We play good cop, bad cop with actor Warren Cole from police dramedy Common Law. Then it's time to upgrade your wardrobe when we check out the latest Doctor Who shirts in threads. I know I'm excited. Plus, on DV Tuesday, Chris Gore rates the latest flicks to hit the shelves, including 21 Jump Street and Wrath of the Titans. Also, Louis C.K. is taking to the internet to sell his stand-up tickets on the cheap. We'll have the details in the feed. And tired of losing your car keys? In Fund It, we'll tell you about the latest Kickstarter campaign that will keep you from tearing your house apart. Unless you've got a hot date, you better stick around because Attack starts now.
Chris Hardwick.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And check it out. It's me, Candace Bailey. We're coming to you live.
Okay, so what the H happened to you yesterday?
I had Eggs Benedict, and I went home, and like within 45 minutes, I started like scratching. I was like, oh, I got bit by something. And then I noticed these big red welts like all over my body, and I was like, oh, I have hives. And
What?
So I quickly took 2 Benadryl. And then I decided to tell people at Attack that I wasn't going to be able to make it into the show.
So you were not here because of an egg-related incident.
Yes. I hope I'm not allergic to eggs. I eat eggs all the time.
Well,
So I don't know what it was, but I had some allergy.
well, this is just the worst person this is the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody. I don't even know.
I know.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm back.
Did you call?
I made it back. I slept all day.
Good. Eggs Benedict Gate 2012 has come to a close. I'm so glad you're all
I'm
right.
glad you're so concerned about me, Chris.
I did an epic mealtime that's on today. A
Oh,
Star
you
Wars
did?
themed epic mealtime where we cooked a tauntaun.
Oh, that's
which
fun.
was really fun.
How'd that go?
I'm not allergic to it. I didn't break out into hives.
I'm
So I
jealous.
was able to come to work yesterday, Candace Bailey. But it's nice to have you
Oh,
here.
it's nice to be back. It's nice to have you here.
It's nice to see you here, looking all pretty and hive-free.
Yes, no more hives.
Yes.
Let's run down the top best things on the web.
We're going around the net. Our first video takes us to the amusement park.
Yay! Amusement park sounds like fun.
Yes, terrifying, terrifying fun.
Hold on, Dad.
I feel bad for that girl. That man that she'll become is right there on YouTube for everyone right there to see. That guy.
That man that she'll become.
That man that she's going to end up becoming that guy.
She is.
My guess is that they didn't know each other. Well, I mean, they just met.
At all.
They
at
just
all.
met at the candy shop.
This next video of an amazingly terrible motorist versus a parking garage.
Accompanied by the a cappella ode to Doing It Wrong, the Derp song.
Derp, derpity, derp, 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 derpity, derp, 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 derpity, derp, 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 derp.
She did it!
So calm. I'll just move this.
And you should see what's left of where she parked.
Let's just say that that's now the only mall in the world without a Sbarro pizza. What? Listen, I love cheesy flavored cardboard as much as the next person. Finally, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter may have had a rough weekend at the box office, but that doesn't mean there won't be a sequel.
Enjoy the presidents as you always wanted them. Fun!
not in mummies.
Time to filibust some heads. I'm back!
That was Jake Busey. I think that was Jake Busey. I was actually really hoping to see John F. Kennedy, Lady Killer.
That might be too hot for TV.
No, Candace, due to extensive research, I strongly believe President Kennedy was actually a killer of ladies. Rest in peace, Marilyn, and possibly many others. You have not been forgotten.
There's no great way
Too
to...
soon?
Too soon, Chris, too soon. You know, there's no great way to transition from Marilyn Monroe's murder.
So, here's a look at some cool in-depth t-shirts that Marilyn would have been okay being found dead in.
Reds!
Fact, summer is here. Fact, it's too hot to wear hoodies. Fact, we have got a whole slew of threads to help keep you cool. First up, get in touch with your artistic side with tees over at enclothed.com. They've got a ton of awesome prints like this brutal Abe Lincoln warrior, a droid committing seppuku, and this kick-ass schematic of a robot's hand. However, if you feel like reaching for the sky, you'll want to check out this black and white dead astronaut and this shattered helmet tee. But our favorites have to be these gun-toting femmes who are just waiting to cause some trouble on the battlefield. And for those of you needing to accessorize, they've also got bandanas and belts to top off your ensemble. Ready to overhaul your closet? Well, you can snag any of these tees over at enclothed.com for 19 to 21 bones. Now, who doesn't like giving to a good cause? Well, thanks to the guys over at Good Joe T-shirts, you can give back to the community while beefing up your wardrobe. 20% of the website's sales go to a nonprofit or school each week. Bonus! They've got all kinds of tees ranging from these hilarious bacon shirts of a pig going cannibal and veggies dishing out revenge to this Star Wars homage of kids taking on a school bus AT-AT. There are also these cool shirts of Kurt Cobain going classical, a super dog zapping a cat, and a shot of a squid taking down a spaceship 20,001 leagues above the sea. And of course, what closet could be complete without a few samurai, robot, and video game tops? So give back to the community by picking up a tee over at goodjoe.com for $18 to $22. And finally, for those of you who prefer your passions a little more twisted, you're going to want to suit up with the shirts over at mysodi.com. Whether it's the Mario Brothers or Zelda infused with Daft Punk, Luke and Leia's unfortunate kiss, or just Spock rocking a phaser, don't faze me, bro! They've got awesome takes on all of your standbys. Waxing nostalgic for some old action flicks? Then check out this Terminator tee, Predator vs. E.T., and of course RoboCop. I'll buy that for $1. However, the coolest have to be their homages to a couple of the greatest shows of all time. The Simpsons, and our favorite time-traveling Brit, Doctor Who. Procrastinate! If you feel like making a statement about geek culture, you can get your hands on these tees for about $25 over at mysodi.com. They say variety is the spice of life. Well, with threads like these, they were right.
Well, it's time for a bit of an information dump, so we turn our attention to this crazy old planet of ours. A word of the warning, or all you budget travelers out there, booking site Orbitz.com has discovered that Mac users tend to spend 30% more on hotel rooms. So, wait a minute, that has given them the bright idea to start directing them to more expensive travel options than PC users. So, by that logic, anyone using a Dell sleeps in a van down by the river. Hey guys, Nick Nolte. There he is. Whee! Remember I was in the Hulk? Now, I'm a Mac man. I've not been secretive about that, and I'm used to getting gouged. At this point, my rear opening is apple-shaped. But being forced to buy new pin adapters and power plugs with every upgrade is kind of like having to purchase a new leash every time your dog dies. But this Orbitz thing is going way, way, way too far. Although, I am very excited, because does that mean I'm going to get redirected to upper-crust porn sites? Did you have to put the mustache on her? Yes. I've already been locked out of Yahoo and redirected to a site called Huzzah more than once. I have a spats fetish, Myra. What do you want? You may not have noticed there's another online store that charges Apple users too much, too. Apple.com, boom, here all week. Take that, most successful company in the world. And speaking of expensive tech, we are just a month away from landing another rover on the surface of Mars. Hopefully. This one's going to cost more than $2.5 billion. Unfortunately, the Red Planet has a history of swatting our expeditions away like a celestial Matumbo. Mars is like Emma Stone. It's a distant, sexy ginger that probably doesn't want me landing on her. That's what I've discovered. If the landing of NASA's one-ton nuclear-powered Mars Science Laboratory is successful, it's probably going to be positioned to change pretty much everything we know about Mars. On the other hand, if the landing goes badly, we're going to have our first nuclear accident on another planet to celebrate, you guys. Yes, infecting our solar system like the STD humanity is. NASA has released a video called 7 Minutes in Hell, which does not, as I had previously thought, describe the process of impregnating a Kardashian. Smash. That's right, ladies, 7 whole minutes. But rather details what the rover's planned descent will look like. Mars is very difficult to land on because the atmosphere is 100 times thinner than ours, probably from throwing up after meals. I am not sure that it helps science that the new rover looks like it's from Nolan's Batman, but it should help get people excited about space again, and hopefully everything will go right, and the robot will begin its search for water, and maybe find John Carter's audience. Remember that movie where you could breathe on Mars and jump really high? Nope, you didn't see it either. It's a good bet they will find evidence of the wet stuff because scientists at the Carnegie Institution of Washington have been very busy checking out 2 meteorites from Mars that landed here 2.5 million years ago, right around when I started hosting Singled Out. Their findings... It's a local reference. Their findings suggest that Mars was able to store water in its interior during the planet's formation. So good news, Earthlings! If Mars has water under the surface, that means we'll be able to colonize and someday have a totally new planet to ruin. And then the bad domes will crack and we'll get bad oxygen and then crazy vagina-faced guys with ladies with 3 boobs and an alien that takes us into a room where a fat guy with a baby comes out of his stomach and says, "Open your mind." So get your ass to Mars. Hey, did you guys know that you got new email addresses this week? No? Well, you might want to check out your Facebook profile, because yesterday, Zuckerberg's behemoth automatically removed any email addresses you listed on your profile and replaced them with their own @facebook.com addresses. You know, the ones that just send emails into those hidden subfolders of your message inbox without any sort of notification or permission on your part? This is not the first time Facebook has done something stupid, but to be honest, it is far more likely that you have done something stupid on Facebook. Like convicted Oregon robber James Tyndall, who recently skipped town without telling his probation officer, because screw that guy, but was quickly caught after following up his personal Facebook status, "Catch me if you can," with mildly helpful hints like, "I'm in Alabama." Guys, if you think your Facebook page is like your room that no one sees, then you are bad at thinking. For a social networking tool that pretty much everyone uses, almost no one seems to know how to use it. From rookie mistakes like letting the neighborhood robbers know when you bought a new 80-inch plasma and left town for a week, to getting into never-ending political arguments with your aunt. In fact, as far as I can tell, the only real uses Facebook has are seeing what your friends are eating right now and finding out which one of your high school classmates have become horrible racists. Oh, that's Casey. He was president of the Glee Club. Such a shame. Up next, we're going to have more Facebook F-ups, and they're your fault this time. CNET editor Dan Ackerman joins me to discuss what not to post on your Facebook. Stick around. $5 says you committed your share of social media faux pas, so let's learn how to do them right. Please welcome senior editor for CNET, Dan Ackerman. Hey, Dan Ackerman, how are you?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Nice to see you. Oh, you're in front of a beautiful city right now. What are some of the things that nobody should ever post on their Facebook status, in your opinion?
Well, you know, if you killed a guy, that's probably one of them. I'd keep that off. And I see a lot of people bad-mouthing their bosses, or like you said, telling people when you're going on vacation. If you want to have a racist rant, don't do that. Pretty much anything you don't want coming up in a job interview or in court.
I guess the other side would be, don't be racist. That would be a good place to start. Then don't rant on it.
But
After
hide
that.
it if you are.
Why do you think I'm always fascinated by this, Dan? Because I honestly, and I said in the previous segment, people think Facebook is like their room that no one sees, and we're seeing court case after court case of evidence being used against people because they were stupid enough to post. You know, like the Casey Anthony case where she posted pictures of herself like hanging out and partying and stuff. Why do people do that?
Because you think all the people on Facebook who you're communicating with are your friends and they're going to keep your secrets, but you know what? Your friends are douchebags in real life and they're douchebags on Facebook.
I guess so, but it's pretty much the same as just like walking through your neighborhood and being like, I called in sick to work today, but I went to Disneyland. Like, someone's going to hear it. Why aren't people catching on that that's how social media works?
Yeah, you're in front of your screen. You don't see the other people. They're sort of on their own screens looking at them. You feel disconnected, and you don't realize you're part of this global community where everyone's existing in real time. And I see people get tripped up by it all the time.
So moving on to some other Facebook news. Yesterday, they drew a lot of criticism for making everyone essentially adopt a Facebook email address in their profile. Did you think they knew this would go over as poorly as it is going over?
Well, that's the crazy thing is you've actually had that Facebook email address for like 2 years. You just didn't know you had it. And they said, oh, nobody's using this damn thing. We better just go into everybody's profile and stick it on there. But I can't believe it's amateur hour 101 that they thought that nobody would notice or nobody would get upset. People think of their profile pages as kind of like their personal property. And you don't want to go on there and change stuff without asking people.
Why is Facebook so alpha with its users where they just kind of go, you don't need this privacy. We'll just do this. We're going to change this. You don't need to know that. Like, why is that? Is it just because the company's being directed by one guy, pretty much?
Maybe it's kind of that like Ivy League frat boy mentality where they feel like, hey, I'm just going to do what I want. Don't worry about it.
And don't you think that, I mean, is this really going to have a huge effect, though? Because with all the privacy issues that they've had in the last couple of years, you know, everyone went into an uproar, and it didn't really change the fact that people were still using Facebook.
You know, you can go in and change your email addresses back. I bet they'll probably go back and do that on their own within a couple of days if people keep complaining. But it is part of this thing where they don't want you to leave Facebook. So if you went on somebody's page and said, oh, I'm going to email Frank, here's his email address. Well, now you're sending it to his Facebook email address. They're just trying to keep it locked in there.
I know, but that's like someone coming into your house and slapping you around and going, I just don't want you to leave. Like, it's just... I don't understand the logic behind it. They also added a new Find Friends Nearby feature Sunday and just yanked it down less than 24 hours later. So what happened with that weird stalky thing?
Yeah, that's where you could go and see if other people were online nearby you, and, you know, that's not creepy at all. But I have to defend them a little bit on this. This was kind of an underground sort of beta hack that they were playing around with. It was meant to be under the radar. Somehow it got on the radar, and everybody just freaked out when it wasn't something that, you know, was on your account unless you went to this secret page and said, okay, I want people to know where I am.
I feel like as a Facebook user that Mark Zuckerberg always has his hand on my leg and he keeps trying to go up my skirt and I'm like, no, but he keeps trying. He's like, sooner or later you're going to let me in there. Like, I feel like that's kind of the logic that they have with their users. Do you feel like they're going to adopt a more user-friendly policy anytime soon?
Well, that's the trade-off that you make for accepting all these cool services they put together. I mean, Facebook is a pretty amazing platform in terms of communication and sharing.
That's
and
true. It's our fault for
Nobody was really doing this before. Right, and you're paying for it with your information and your attention, and that's the deal that we've all made. And if you don't like the deal, go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. From a legal standpoint, they can see. But, Your Honor, did you see what they were wearing? Social networks have come and gone. Obviously, they've been having weird stock issues lately. You know, they were overvalued. People are freaking out about that a little bit. But at this point, Facebook is here to stay, right? There's not any other social network that's going to usurp Facebook, do you think?
They've hit that magic point where you do so much stuff on Facebook, email, photos, event invites, it's more trouble to get off it than it is to stay on it. And once you hit that kind of cliff, that's it, you're gold. You can do anything to anybody, and they'll just go, all right, well, I'm still here.
Yeah, because, you know, with what are they, 500 million plus user base at this point?
I think it's getting close to, yeah, it's higher than that. It's less than 1 billion, but it's getting pretty close to that.
It's getting close to that, so like...
It's kind of like Gmail.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Dan, I'm sorry.
It's kind of like Gmail reads your emails and sends you contextual ads based on it, and you're like, well, still using Gmail.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's just we are so addicted to convenience. We're so addicted to having everything handed to us that we're willing to just kind of give up control and go, it doesn't really matter. But I think we're starting to see with a lot of these services that it is starting to matter in ways that are super, super, super creepy. Thank you so much, Dan Ackerman from CNET, for being here. And now, here are some projects that you can make possible with magic. And by magic, we mean cash.
Awesome. Good to be here.
Check out these campaigns to make your smartphone smarter. We've all been here, stuck in the dark, jamming a charger into an iPhone. Ugh, it's so frustrating. But here's a solution from Irv and Marcelo at Scrap Pile Labs. It's called the Cord Light.
Irv came to me with an idea about an illuminated charger cable, and that's where Cord Light was born. We wanted to build a product that was streamlined and more intuitive to the end user.
Cord Light is touch activated. It uses forward-facing LEDs to illuminate your phone's charging port and is equipped with surface indicator lights that detect if the plug is oriented correctly. And with your help, this prototype will make its first production run. Just $30 will get you one, or have friends pull some cash and y'all can score 10 for $290.
Just like any other small design company, trying to get a product off the ground costs anywhere from $50,000, $100,000 and up. And so Kickstarter is kind of the medium that we're using to produce something that is quality and that the world will be able to enjoy.
You heard the man. Visit Kickstarter.com and check out the Cord Light. Next up, if you can't keep track of your keys, end the runaround and get your hands on a Hone. It's a Bluetooth device for your keychain that lights up and audibly vibrates when triggered by your iPhone. About 6 months ago, Jeffrey Litwack and Louis Gerbarg began developing the gadget after being inspired by some, personal frustration.
I lose my keys pretty much constantly. And one day I lost them and I said, I'm an engineer, I can fix this.
To use it, simply open the iPhone app and tap the Find button. Hone can detect your keys from distances of up to 150 feet. And the guys love to hear your ideas for other Hone uses, so drop a line on their comment page.
It's so exciting to connect with people directly who want to use what we're making. We heard from someone who's blind, who wants to use these devices to help find his way around his own possessions, and that's a use we had not thought of.
Get your hands on one by pledging just $49 at its campaign over at Kickstarter.com. And finally, if you love fishing but hate waiting for a bite, add the Deeper Smart Fish Finder to your tackle box. David is an engineer at Friday Labs and a passionate fisherman.
I tried to use fish finders which are on the market today, but none of them were even close to my expectations. So the idea struck me a year ago when everyone started using, smartphones. So why can't I use, a device which I carry all the time with myself to find a fish?
He created the Deeper Smart Fish Finder to track everything from water temperature to fish locations. The gadget works by using Bluetooth to sync its sonar readings to your smartphone or tablet. And with one of its apps, you can instantly see the data.
After landing on the water, Deeper immediately turns on and sends information about that particular spot.
You can score one by contributing some cash to its campaign on Indiegogo.com. $149 gets you the gadget, USB charger, app, and waterproof case. What a steal! So sign on and increase your iOS IQ by clicking some cash towards these campaigns. And I want to say congratulations to the Hone. This Kickstarter campaign just reached its funding goal. Congrats!
Yes! But there are still a bunch of cool rewards up for grabs, so keep on contributing.
Yes.
But right now, it's... there were so many great stories during the break. So many great stories that we can't talk about right now. So instead, we're going to get some news.
Sarah Underwood, battle stations!
Oh, let's just start the feed.
All the news you need to know. The feed.
It's Tuesday, June 26th, and here are your top stories. The battle for the living room is heating up. Google is teaming up with Vizio and taking aim at the Apple TV with a new device called the Co-Star. Yeah, the $99 Apple TV-like set-top box has Google TV on board, but it also supports OnLive's streaming game service. That will position them one step ahead of Apple with console-quality gameplay for the same price. And hopefully it will fare much better than the previous, much pricier Google TV devices. Pre-orders open up in July. It's your move, Tim Cook. Yeah. Now mind, your mind, I'm talking to it. Prepare to be blown. Scientists just demonstrated technology that can transmit data at speeds of 2.5 terabits per second. Yes, by twisting light and creating what's called an infinite capacity wireless vortex beam, they were able to send data at a rate equal to 7 Blu-ray discs a second wirelessly. Only a few months ago, the technique was thought to be impossible, but the recent breakthrough is being hailed as a major development towards faster wireless and fiber optic networks. We're all gonna die! But you won't be able to download at lightning speeds just yet. Right now, they're only able to transmit data across a distance of about 3 feet. There you go. Louis C.K. is sticking it to the man once again. He has decided to sell tickets for his tour without the big ticket companies. In a follow-up to his immensely successful $5 DRM free comedy special, the comedian has announced a plan to sell tickets to his shows directly to his fans for only $45. That is about half of what they normally pay through Ticketmaster or similar services. He'll also be implementing a system to crack down on any people who try and scalp the tickets for a higher price. Now, the shows are already selling out, guys, so if you want in on some good live comedy, you better get on it.
All right.
And finally, remember light years ago when Dr. Dre announced plans to produce his Planet album? Yeah, we're still waiting on that one. But today, hip-hop's founding Wu-Tang Clan member GZA announced plans to debut his own space-themed album titled Dark Matter. And he's actually teaming up with everyone's favorite astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's not going to be rapping, but making sure GZA is spitting factually accurate rhymes covering the physics of our cosmic origins. GZA says his intergalactic album is the first of many, and we can also expect an education on things like oceanic and cellular biology. And hopefully it'll be a little more insightful than ICP's miracles. I'm Sarah Underwood, and you've just been fed. And now over to Candace.
Thank you, Sarah. Still ahead, common law star Warren Cole will be here live. Plays the good cop on common law, which I guess makes me the bad cop. Okay. Please welcome Warren Cole. Oh, what are you doing? You boxing over there?
I was. That's my good cop box.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks
good
for
cop.
having me.
No, I like your show because it's not the traditional show about cops.
No. It's not a traditional show about cops. It kind of turns all that on its ear. It's a little more. The cop work is a backdrop for the main event, which is the relationship between these guys and how they just have a hard time being close to one another.
Now, you're very much by the book, your character.
Yeah, he
But
is.
in real life, you're like crazy and like you go mountain biking and you ride a motorcycle and you do your own stunts.
Yeah.
I consider that crazy.
Yeah, well.
Craziness.
Well, you were a gymnast, right?
I was a gymnast.
So
How
that's
did you
a little
know that?
crazy. We have some mutual friends.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Same producers from Jericho. And John Turtletop. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fun bunch of monkeys, aren't they?
They are. They told me to give you a hard time.
I know. I told them that we were going to rag on them the whole time.
We should.
So we're going to see where your loyalties lie here. I think I'm in trouble.
Now, so speaking of stunts and everything, was that hard to do? Because I heard you had to wear your suit the whole time.
Yeah, and I was vacuum sealed in this suit. Much like you are. In
this?
You look great. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. But you get used to it.
Uh-huh.
There's some stretch, and if we showed up in shape. Both Michael and I showed up in
You're
shape to this.
in shape? Shape?
I was.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding.
This is going really well.
But I heard that you were giving the producers, that is quite a
down.
look. I mean, woo! I hear you're giving the producers a hard time about being in your suit all the time.
What?
You didn't want to wear it. Is this
Get
not
out
true?
of- Oh, the jacket.
Lies? The jacket.
We were in New Orleans. It was hot.
Oh.
It was hot.
It is
and
hot
and
there.
I'm like bleeding through sweat through these jackets. They got me in heavy wool suits, and I'm just like, maybe I can have my. This is supposed to be LA. We're doubling for LA on this show, and it's like, maybe I can have the jacket off. And the eyes are rolling, and everyone's upset with me. So I just said,
no. Keep
I
it
finally gave up and just lost 20 pounds. Wearing the suits.
Okay, well, what's going on in this week's episode?
This episode is role play. Michael and I switch roles, Wes and Travis. Kind of, in essence, we switch roles. We don't get too literal with our translations, but we kind of capture each other's energy and more try to prove our points to each other about how hard it is to be partners by doing that. And some of us get a little more immersed in it than others.
Well, let's take a look at the clip.
Yep, that's right. I just broke a glass for no apparent reason. Boom! We want to know if anyone has seen this guy here last night.
I recognize that guy.
We got here at the same time.
And what time, perchance, was that?
Excuse me, sir.
What?
We have cameras on the door. If you want to take a look, you can see what time you got here. Just please don't break anything else.
Now, I never forget a face. So I don't want anybody here causing any trouble.
Trouble? Half of us are optometrists.
You zip it.
All right, thank you so much to Warren Cole. Common Law airs Friday nights on the USA Network. You're awesome. Very nice to meet you. Stay tuned. There's more Attack of the Show still ahead.
Welcome back, film expert Chris Gore. Expert.
Thank you.
I said expert.
Espert.
You're an expert in your field.
I am an expert.
What is first in your field, Mr. Espert?
21 Jump Street.
Yes. I didn't see 21 Jump Street. I meant to. Was Richard Grieco in it?
Sadly, no. But there's some great cameos. I don't want to ruin them because they're so good.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, like this beefy Channing Tatum, amazing, and then sort of a bear like Jonah Hill. He's more of a hairless cub.
Okay.
Actually, the two of them.
Don't use personal terms from your life.
But I mean, this thing, they have such good chemistry on screen. It kind of goes from bromance to bronography.
It looks fun.
That's how good. That's how good they are together.
You're a professional at
Yes,
making words up.
I'm a professional. But no, they just work so well, and it's a great combination of, this movie knows what it is. Has a really good sense of humor about it itself. Ice Cube is incredible in it. And then Rob Riggle, who is so fantastic. He's so funny.
Riggle's flawless in everything.
Yeah, I could watch him all day. I watched it 3 times. It's amazing.
Any good extras?
Plenty of great extras. There's a commentary on there. And in the commentary track, you learn a lot of things about these movies. I think a lot of the filmmakers think that we don't listen to these. Channing Tatum's on it. Jonah Hill's on it. They talk about how there's one scene where a guy loses his junk. I don't want to give it away. A guy loses his junk, and they didn't have anything. This was such a joke they thought up on the fly. They used a banana. They used a banana covered in blood. And so I thought that was amazing. Filmmaking tips. You never know what you're going to learn.
You said tips.
Hell yeah.
What is the bottom line on your bloody banana movie?
Buy it. 21 Jump Street. Hilarious.
All right, I will.
Great comedy, great action.
Okay, what's next on DVD?
Wrath of the Titans.
Is there any good penis removal scenes in this?
Biographies. This thing is just so confusing. It's like a badly done video game title sequence.
Yeah.
And at this point you just don't care because everything just looks so fake. There's a detachment when everything's too digital. That's how I feel about that. I mean, you've seen films that depressed you and upset you and disappointed you in that way?
You know, I think sometimes, if there's a lot of CG, it can take you out of the movie a little bit because you're like, oh, that's CG, oh, that's okay, because you're constantly comparing it to, oh, that looks really good for CG, or that could have been a little bit better. There was a little bit of juddering right there. But what else is on the DVD?
There's a maximum movie mode where you can pick, God or mortal, which I like those. They do sort of a picture-in-picture while you're watching the movie. Hey, we'll tell you a little something about it. That's what's cool is the experts in mythology.
Yeah.
That is actually sort of the best part of that. The behind the scenes is, it's pretty much, they did it against a blue screen. This other scene, they shot that against a blue screen. And these effects we did on computer. So, yeah.
So what's the bottom line on this one?
Pass.
What?
Yeah. I'm saving you time, Chris Hardwick.
All right,
I'm saving you
thank
time.
you for saving me time. I don't have a lot of that. So what else do you have to...
Yeah. Jeff who lives at home.
Yeah.
Jeff who lives at home.
You know, I saw the billboard for this movie. Love Ed Helms. Jason Segel's great. How was it?
Fantastic. This is by the Duplass brothers. If you've seen their past films, The Puffy Chair and Cyrus, brilliant movies. I mean, it's a great cast. It's one of those things where this guy at the beginning, Jeff, he's thinking a little too much about the movie The Sixth Sense. I think he's high.
Okay.
He's thinking a little bit too much about that movie and about how things connect. So he's looking for a guy named Kevin because he gets a wrong number.
Yeah.
Someone goes up asking for Kevin. Where's Kevin? He sees a guy in a jersey named Kevin. He thinks that everything has some sort of deeper meaning behind it. And no one believes him. That's the most I want to tell you about the plot.
Now describe Act 2.
Right, exactly. That's really how it starts, but it's also reconciliation with his brother, played by Ed Helms, and how they've never gotten along, never seen eye to eye, and Jeff coming to some understanding about life.
What is the bottom line on this?
Bottom line is, it's a rent, but only because there are no extras on it.
Okay.
But the Duplass brothers, look up the Duplass brothers.
Jeff lives
They're
at home goods.
in the league.
We have basically 30 seconds left for a quick pick. What do you got?
We have the Christopher Nolan Director's Collection, which it's got Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Inception, it's got Memento, and bonus movie Insomnia. Not the best, but all great films, Blu-ray, and it also comes with a Dark Knight Rises coupon, little movie money in there. Towards your purchase of a ticket.
I appreciate that. I will write this on my chest to buy it later on. Chris Gore, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
For more Gore, check out Pod Crash, this podcast on iTunes. Always a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Chris Gore. Thank you for coming out today. I will follow your advice. I will see all these movies. I need to see more movies.
Take this home.
Thank you very much. Yay! Christopher Nolan box.
You won! You won!
Summer is upon us, and it's time to attack this batch of hot weather widgets. Summer traveling is fantastic, but you know what sucks the most about it?
What?
Dead batteries in your favorite handheld gadgets, duh! Keep your ish running longer with the universal wrist charger. With nearly a dozen different connectors, you can plug just about anything into this portable battery. I love this, without taking up any extra space or tangling yourself in cords. Get it from Think Geek for a mere $45 and never lose power again. Yay! Now we know the great outdoors can be very tempting this time of year. The weather is warm, people are barbecuing, women are prancing around in skimpy bikinis. But you've been hiding inside for months and your delicate skin can't handle the rays. Well, protect yourself with portable UV monitor. Now you can detect temperatures and UV levels on the spot, as well as calculate maximum exposure times, all in this tiny handheld device. Avoid unsightly farmer's tan, sunburns, and melanoma, and buy it now for only $40 from Curiosity.com. Yay! Now getting back on the subject of those barbecues, everyone loves those warm summer nights of hanging out with friends and having a few drinks. However, no one should ever risk getting behind the wheel afterward. Know exactly how inebriated you are with the Backtrack Keychain Breathalyzer. Simply pull out the folding mouthpiece, blow into it for 5 seconds, and voila! An accurate read right away. I like that. Stay safe and buy it from breathalyzer.net for only $30. Now coming up, fails abound, so stick around. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. This girl's riding a children's toy. So, what happens next? Does a car slip out from under her? Does she slam into the railing? Or does she hit an onlooker at the bottom of the ramp? We'll have the answer right after the break. This girl's riding a children's toy. So, what happens next? Does a car slip out from under her? Does she slam into the railing? Or does she hit an onlooker at the bottom of the ramp? Did you know that adults with kitty toys is this country's #1 source of fail? True story.
Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
Nostalgia overload! Star Trek legend LeVar Burton will be here live to talk about the new Reading Rainbow app. Then Matt Meyer rates the MSI GT70 gaming laptop. This beauty sports a color LED keyboard and the new Intel Ivy Bridge processor. But is it worth your money? Find out in Gadgetron. And our viewer army heads to Boston Con, see cosplay, comedy, and more in Beantown.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7.
Are you fully recovered from your crippling tiny tower addiction? Well, prepare to get hooked on Nimblebit's newest game, Pocket Planes. This iOS game puts you in charge of a virtual airline. You earn coins by flying passengers and cargo from city to city, then use those coins to unlock new airports and expand your airline. You'll get bonuses for booking passengers and cargo headed to the same destination. But those flights can be expensive, so picking the most efficient routes for your planes is crucial to maximizing your profits. As you expand, you'll need to buy bigger planes using the game's second currency, bucks. Earn these bucks by transporting specialty cargo and passengers, or by leveling up with experience points. While it may seem simple, the game is actually very complex and more fulfilling than its tower-based predecessor. So free up some time for your new iOS addiction and go get Pocket Planes for free in the iTunes App Store.
Free! Hey guys, mark your calendars. Comic-Con is next month, and it is not just for geeks anymore.
Who says?
I just did.
Whoa.
Yeah. G4 is your only way into Comic-Con. Now we are live from the floor for 3 days beginning on July 12th.
Comic-Con 2012 Live, presented by Dave & Buster's.
Oh, yummy. For pictures of Comic-Cons from years gone by with very broad appeal, visit g4tv.com/Comic-Con.
Yep.
Now, right now, it is time for today's epic fail.
Riding a motorcycle is kind of dangerous, you guys.
Riding one in Eastern Europe is insane.
Слушай, ехал машина. Да? Я там не увидел, кстати, что произошло. Короче...
Yay! It's Russia's first moto gymnast. Big ups on the colorful dismount.
I give him 5 visits to Das Hospital out of 5.
Take that.
Thanks to Warren Cole, Chris Gord, Dan Ackerman, Sarah Underwood.
That's right. Thanks so
you
much for watching. And let me harshly ask you to subscribe to the Nerdist channel on youtube.com/Nerdist. Thank you for watching. Chris Hardwick. Thanks, Bailey.